Hey, what's going on, Vikings fans? It's Skol back again. Last game review, game breakdown of the year. Sucks. Sucks that this is the last one. Vikings got the win today, 37-35. I'm going to give you guys kind of my final thoughts on the game and just really what I saw from the Vikings today. Honestly, it's like a bittersweet type of thing because I saw how successful they were, and it kind of wish they played a lot like that more during the year. Anyways, it was a fun game. You know, a lot of points being scored. Let's talk about it. Vikings beat the Lions 37-35. End the year 7-9. Going to be drafting between around 9 to 15 in the draft. Let's talk about it. Vikings win 37-35 right now. Okay, so the main storyline from today had to have been Jefferson breaking the single season receiving record from a rookie wide receiver. Incredible. Had 133 yards today, and that was just really, going into the game, I was like, God, if they lose, it's not that big of a deal. If they win, it's not that big of a deal. I'm not the type of guy who's going to root for wins and losses. In week 17, I don't think it makes that much of an impact on a franchise. Yeah, you could be like, oh, well, we could have drafted 9, we could have drafted whatever. My goal today going into it was I wanted to see Jefferson get that record, and I think there was a ton of significance to that. And Vikings fans, we just had the whole Diggs situation go down. Diggs left because he wasn't happy. He wasn't happy with the targets he was getting. He wasn't happy with where he was in the lineup. He wasn't happy with any of that. He wasn't happy with the targets, how they were going. And you got to admit, there's got to be a part of Jefferson was probably looking at Diggs and how successful he even was in Minnesota. Then he went to Buffalo, how successful he is there now. They're 13-3. He leads the league in yards, receptions, and targets. Jefferson, of course, it's in the back of his mind being like, hey, maybe I could be in the same situation as Diggs and I can end up leaving. Instead, you go target him a lot today. Most targets I think he's had on the year. He gets 133 yards. Incredible route running, incredible ball placement by Jefferson. And ball placement, I mean, just how he high points the ball and doesn't let DBs get in there. I thought that was really big that the Vikings made an effort to get him the ball, and this is something that should be going on the entire year. I mean, this is something that he should have been leading the league in targets, receptions, and yards, just like Diggs. He's got the same talent. Diggs is obviously more of a polished receiver than Jefferson, but the fact that Jefferson was in the 30s in targets and he was top 5 in yards and top 5 in he's top in yards per target on the entire NFL, not just for rookies, you would think they would give him the ball today. They did. That was a big moment. Defensively, a big standout to me was Anthony Harris again. Anthony Harris, I mean, dude, you get burned over and over and over again. And I know Ben Lieber called him out on effort, and Anthony Harris kind of challenged him back and was like, hey, man, it's more of the technique and all this. Don't question my effort. I'm like, I was watching today. That's effort. Like, he can say what he wants on Twitter and on everything, be like, don't come for my effort. I'm a grown ass man. That's what he was saying. Like, I'm like, you watch the tape, you watch him. I hope it's effort, because that better not be coverage. Because if you're saying that is coverage, you are 15 yards out of position. I think it's effort with him. I think he kind of clocked out probably around when we lost to Tampa Bay. He probably said, we're not going to make any real noise this year. He has had a very bad season. He dropped an interception today. No interceptions on the year for Anthony Harris. I've been saying this all year. I was always under the impression that you do not extend Anthony Harris because interceptions are such an opportunistic thing. Interceptions, the quarterback's going to have to misthrow, make the read to your side of the field. Yes, he can bait interceptions, and there's a skill to intercepting the ball, like baiting a QB and doing all this, but a safety getting a lot of interceptions, hey man, he hasn't had an interception all year. He had 7 last year, 1 more in the playoffs. Yes, he had a great year last year. He was great. This year was a complete opposite. Harrison Smith, he's consistently 4 to 5 to 6 interceptions every single year. Those aren't really an opportunistic stat for him. It's what he does. And I guarantee you a year coming up, Harrison might have 9 because he's just put himself in those positions. Jefferson, I think the 7 interceptions last year was a little lucky, or Harris was a little lucky. Played bad again today. I don't really know what else to say about him. Moving on to the kicker, Dan Bailey. Frankly, again, another miss. Bailey probably just played his last game as a Viking. No, he did. I mean, I'll come out here and say Dan Bailey would not be on the Minnesota Vikings next year. I promise you. I don't think any logical human being, as dumb as you may think Spielman, Zimmer, and the whole Vikings organization is right now, they will not be bringing back Dan Bailey next year. I can promise you that, and good riddance. You know, missing kicks, extra points, all that. Second most missed in the league since week 15. Dan Bailey, another low point from today. I'll go another high point was Kirk Cousins. You know, Kirk Cousins, he has definitely gotten a lot of slack from the media, and, you know, for good or wrong reason. I mean, he's not the most popular person in the media. He's kind of this old dorky guy, but he's really balled out since the bye. I mean, I think he's going to end with 26 touchdowns and 3 picks since the bye, and 2 of those picks really weren't his fault. I mean, that's pretty incredible. I mean, Kirk today did what he needed to. His pocket presence is still not good, but he's not the perfect quarterback. He has his cons and he has his pros. We talk about Kirk's cons all the time, as he's not good at avoiding sacks. He's not good at this. Let's talk about his pros. He throws the ball on a laser a lot. He knows how to read defenses and read coverages. And you know what? Sometimes he does make really good plays where he moves up in the pocket and throws a really good ball. Listen, Kirk did what he needed to do today. He played good. And again, it's a meaningless game. I'm not going to put too much stock into it. I mean, this is, yes, you can throw 403 on them, but can you throw 403 on Green Bay when it means something? Anyways, Kirk Cousins did his thing today. Offensive line, again, shaky. I liked seeing Madison in there. That was good seeing him. Mike Boone ran hard, ran well. Bradbury, another shaky game. He's a concern in the offseason. Left guard, obviously a concern. I didn't think Rashad Hill played that bad, but again, it's the Lions defense. I can't put that much stock into it. Eric Wilson had a sloppy game. Gladney played hard. It was just a typical Week 17 game. Anyways, guys, if you guys are new here, subscribe to the channel. Almost at 1K. Anyways, leave a like on the video, comment down below. Sure to respond to all you guys. How are you guys feeling going into this offseason about the Vikings? Let me know what you guys think. Anyways, thank you guys so much for joining this season with me, joining all this offseason time. Let's hit 1K soon. See you guys next time. Peace. Skol Vikes.